It's time for Extra Time. Kay Murray and Ali Moreno here with you. We've also got Gab Marcotti and Nedum Onuoha to answer your questions. And the first question is for Ali Moreno.
Oh, are you okay? Okay.
I'm all right.
You've been a little rattled the last week.
I have
You want
been
to tell
a
the
little
people what you
rattled.
did in the parking lot?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
ESPN.
not. No fender bender talk here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't park close to Kay.
Don't park close to me. We'll leave it at that, shall we? For Ale, did Atletico Madrid finesse Barcelona worse by selling Griezmann for 120 million and loaning him back with the option to buy for 40 million, or getting Suarez for free last year, or selling Arda Turan when he was already trending downwards as a player?
Those are all great deals for Atletico Madrid and awful deals for Barcelona. It's hard to pick one, but let's just say that the Luis Suarez going for free to a direct rival, and then it was Luis Suarez, more importantly, and his goals that allow Atletico Madrid to actually win LaLiga while Barcelona is trailing far, far behind in third place. I'm going to take that as sort of the worst outcome for Barcelona because we already know the outcome. We're yet to see what happens with Griezmann. But if you needed any evidence that Griezmann needed to go somewhere else, just watch the first 3 matches of this season where there was no Messi, where there were no excuses, where he was playing the free role that he was supposed to play when Messi was not available, and yet there was no Antoine Griezmann to be seen anywhere around the ball, making an impact in the attacking half for Barcelona.
All right, it's an interesting one next. I'll ask both you, Nedum, and you, Gab. I'll start with you, Nedum. Does Ronaldo breaking the international goal-scoring record cement his GOAT status over Messi?
Ooh.
For me, yes.
Oh, okay.
As an objective Barca fan. Ronaldo has done it in multiple leagues, been more clutch in the Champions League, and has been better internationally. Curious for your thoughts.
I don't think that cements it now, because people obviously see the game in different ways. And as far as the international goals tally go, like Messi isn't taking part in the European competition, Ronaldo's not taking part in the South American competition, so it's not an apples for apples type comparison. So, you know, I get it. The guy's scored a ton of goals and has been, you know, so consequential in the history of football. But there's no argument which you can put forward which will cement either person. And it's ultimately why, you know, we love the game, because one person likes this, the other person likes that. But either way, I think we've been blessed with 2 great players.
I have a question, Kay. I have a quick question to Maestro, who says he's a objective Barca fan.
I'm a bit iffy on this.
Right, but it's a very simple question. One of the arguments that he's putting up is that Ronaldo was able to do it in different leagues around the world. So you're criticizing Lionel Messi and punishing Lionel Messi because he decided to stay in your team in Barcelona for all those years and to win all those titles. So that then becomes an argument against him. I'm sure that when Messi was part of Barcelona, you would have made the argument for Messi and for Barcelona and for him to stay in Barcelona. Can't have it both ways, Maestro. Sorry.
No, Gab, I'm sure this is just what you were hoping for on tonight's Extra Time. Messi versus Ronaldo. What are your thoughts on this question?
With all due respect, it's a silly argument. This is a tremendous achievement. Cristiano Ronaldo is a goal scorer. Lionel Messi has also scored a lot of goals. We're not comparing apples. First of all, you don't just compare by number of goals. If you did, then, you know, why don't we put Ali Dai ahead of Lionel Messi, right? He scored many, many more goals at international level than Lionel Messi. But if you need me to rattle off all the reasons why they're apples and oranges, I will, starting with the fact that Lionel Messi faced far more competition for a place in the side playing for Argentina than Cristiano does for Portugal. Mentioning the fact that, you know, he plays in South America, which means rather than European qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, where you get, you know, let's face it, 1 or 2 cupcakes in any group, as Ali will no doubt back me up on it, It's not fun playing South American qualifiers where you get to go and play against Bolivia, up in the sky, where you get to play against Brazil, you get to play Uruguay, you get to play, should I mention Venezuela? No, but you get the picture, right? It is a much tougher, much more grueling situation.
You should mention Venezuela because the last time that I played, or my team played against Lionel Messi in a World Cup qualifier in Venezuela, we won 1-0. Yes, we did. Vamos, Venezuela!
There you go. There's no, and look, so it is a completely different situation. And by the way, it doesn't diminish Cristiano. This is an incredible feat what Cristiano's done. But and I'll say on one other pro Cristiano thing, people who say that I looked at his numbers. His goal scoring record in friendlies is something like 1 in 3. His goal scoring in official matches, his goal scoring rate is actually far higher in matches that actually matter relative to friendly. So I'm not diminishing this at all. I'm just saying when you decide who the GOAT is, you got to do a little bit better than simply goal scoring records. And you can choose Cristiano or you can choose Lionel Messi. But if you choose Cristiano, there are many, many more compelling arguments and reasons to choose Cristiano than simply counting up the international goals record, especially when both players are still active and one of them is a couple years younger.
All right, we're going to fly through the rest of these because we didn't expect a Messi versus Ronaldo so early on tonight's Extra Time.
Well, if only there was somebody who could control that, who was asking the questions. I don't know.
All right, Ale, Divyan says, who's the more exciting player in La Liga among Vinicius and Joao Felix?
Vinicius. We don't see enough of Joao Felix. Injured all the time.
All right, that was nice, short, concise, to the point.
Yeah, well,
A-star.
Thank you.
Ezio asks,
So
and I'll
proud of
put this
myself.
to you, Nedum, how do you feel about Eden Hazard announcing that he might retire from international football after the next World Cup? Has there ever been a player to regress so much from his Chelsea days to where he is now?
I don't know. If his heart's not in it, then you shouldn't have to do it. But it's sad to see him in this current state. But I do believe he can get out of it. But this is football. Unfortunately, it never seems that simple sometimes. But he's making his own decisions. He's earned the right to do that. So good luck to him. But hopefully, he has a great tournament in Qatar.
I'll answer that question, by the way. Fernando Torres. From the very best out-and-out striker in the world to all of a sudden a shadow of himself. Injury issues, what have you, but then that regression from Fernando Torres was significant.
That was a big one. Nedum, how did you do against Fernando Torres?
I did well a couple of times, and then another time he scored a hat-trick. But, it is what it is, eh? He was on fire at the time.
It's all right sometimes, but then now and again there was a little hat-trick in there.
So he played against Fernando Torres with Liverpool. Fernando Torres with Liverpool hat-trick, and then whatever he became, that's when he did well.
All right.
I can see that.
I need to take a breath to read this next one. It's for you, Gab. Is the Madrid Derby the game to watch in La Liga this season, since Barca has lost Messi and aren't much good either, and taking note that the Clasico will be played on the same date as other European classics and possibly have an intersecting time with these games? So basically the other big games will be played at the same time. Basically, let's put it down to, is Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid more exciting this season than Real Madrid against Barcelona?
Well, I mean, I think these are likely to be the two best teams in La Liga this season. They're the two teams with the highest chances of winning the title. So if that's your benchmark, then yes. If you like the Clasico, the rivalry, the significance, and everything else that goes into Barca against Real, no, it'll always be Barca against Real. It's just the nature of the Clasico.
Matt says, and this is a very important question, Ale.
Okay.
So, Ale,
Yeah.
after the end of the transfer window in Spain, we need to know who wins La Liga.
Okay.
Why are you laughing, Ale?
Well,
Have you not been asked this before?
3 games in. Look, I know we have low standards when it comes to asking this question, but 3 games in, I'm going to suggest that what we saw from Atletico Madrid and Villarreal and the ending in that match is what people tend to label as the luck of the champion. When you get a point in a game that you should not have gotten a point from, that you should have lost, and it comes from an own goal where no Atletico Madrid player is involved, where a center back hits it into his own goal and the goalkeeper had gone hunting for butterflies, I'm going to suggest that that's the luck of the champion, Atletico Madrid.
All right. Ale, another question for you as well. Did you ever feel guilty for dying? Oh, actually, it's one for Gab here.
Okay.
It's is Tomiyasu an upgrade on Bellerin and Chambers, Gab?
Oh, 1,000,000%, in my opinion, and he's an upgrade on any of the central defenders, with the exception of Gabriel at his best, possibly, unless they have a central defender that I'm forgetting about. But no, I think he's the real deal. But just following the luck of the champions thing. What about the week before against Elche? Talk about luck of the champions. At least they played well against Villarreal and took a lot of shots. Against Elche, they were terrible. And then the goalkeeper wanders out and Correa scores and they get 3 points instead of 1 point. So I see where Ali's going with this.
So Atleti it is. Ale, did you ever feel guilty for diving during a game?
No. The answer is no. And just to clarify some things here, I didn't just flat out dive. I drew contact, minimal as it may have been, but I drew contact. I didn't just flat out dive. That's my defense. And I did not feel guilty doing it, by the way.
Can I ask the defender what he thinks about this? Nedum?
Not for me. Not for me. Hate all that stuff. Not for me. No. I'm glad we played in different eras.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that old, Nate.
I think that was a little bit of a dig.
I'm not that old, Nate.
Different eras.
Let's say something. Not that old, and you're not that young. More importantly, you're not that young.
I'm quite young. Yeah.
Two different positions on the pitch, two different eras. All right.
Different eras.
Right.
The answer is no, by the way.
We'll go around the houses for this. We'll start with you, Gab. What's one sport that you just can't watch?
Golf.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Do you play it?
I have done, but I mean, there's just so much stuff out there. And the golf, and the way especially the U.S. announcers are the worst. The way they start, you know that they're not actually out there by the putting green, right? You know they're away, locked in some airless studio, but they lower their voice and talk like this in a whisper. I'm like, what's your problem? Why are you doing this? And it's so stupid. And then now these guys, Brooks, whatever his name is, and the other fool, and going back and forth like we're supposed to care, like it's a real rivalry, like it's freaking WWE. Because otherwise people lose interest.
Don't they follow them around every hole? Is that why they're talking quietly? Because they actually are there.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. They're locked away in the clubhouse, aren't they?
No, they're not, Gab.
That's because he doesn't watch it. That's why.
No.
So we'll let him off.
There are groups that are followed by a specific reporter who is breaking down what the yardage is going to be, what the wind is doing. So, and those are the ones that usually are sort of whispering into the mic. And also there are others that are.
No, it's the other guy, though.
I know, but then there are other guys who are in towers that are right next to the green. So therefore, they also have to whisper because they are within a close distance of the green. So you got to get your reporting correct on this one.
You make it seem like there's 100 different people talking at once. It's the main guy at the beginning, and they get so pompous about it. And then the stupid sandwiches in Augusta.
It sounds to me like Gab does
that's fine. Different people like different things. No, I know enough about it. I just don't like it. Except for the Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup is different, but I'm told the Ryder Cup's not really golf. It's a completely different thing. Ryder Cup, I'll watch that. That'll be exciting. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the other stuff, come on, man.
He knows a lot about
That goes on for hours
someone
and
who doesn't
hours.
watch golf.
So Ryder Cup is synchronized swimming.
Okay.
Apparently, yes, it's not golf.
So if you don't like watching golf, the Ryder Cup is the one to watch. Nedum, what's one sport that you just can't watch?
So this might be a bit controversial for the American audience, but I would never go to a stadium to watch baseball. I would not watch baseball. It's just not for me. It's just not for me at all.
Oh, that hurts a little.
That hurts.
That hurts because I grew up with baseball in Venezuela.
Venezuelan audience too.
So then I would turn it right back around and say the one sport that I would not watch on TV is cricket because I don't understand it. It's crazy talk to me. And there's people running, and then it takes days in order to play the match. I don't understand it. But I can see the value of it, I suppose. I just don't understand it enough to care for it.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough, I think. Fortunately, all of these guys love watching football, which is why they are able to answer your
What do you
question.
hate?
One that I don't really like watching. It's not going to please you too much.
Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough.
Nedum.
Is that sport?
You know what? I was just going to go on your side there, Nedum, and back you up. But you know what? That's the end, and that's my end with Nedum Onuoha. If he's ever on the show again, I might decide not to be.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.